Okay, so I know I've talked about this before, but it's that time of the year again, so we're gonna get into the subject of Halloween candy. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your taste buds are like. I don't care if you're my best friend. If I go into your house and I see that you have 3 Musketeer bars ready to give to the kids, I'm going to beat you over the head with a frying pan. No, that is the worst candy bar on planet Earth. No, no, no. Everyone's like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just chocolate and marshmallow cream. Yeah, on paper, that sounds great. It's half of a s'more. In all reality, it doesn't taste good. You get through that chocolate shell and you're just chomping on a marshmallow. It is brutal. Every single Halloween, my mom would go to the store and she would get one of those big bags of a mixed array of candy bars. I do it myself. Always, the last candy bar in the bottom of that barrel was 3 Musketeers. Thankfully, when I buy candy, I just do not buy anything that has a 3 Musketeer included, because if it does, that entire bag has been contaminated. Plain Hershey bars, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, the Hershey Kisses, they're not great, they're not special, but they're good, they're just chocolate. Give that to the kids instead of 3 Musketeers if you must. Honestly, I just don't care. As long as it's not a 3 Musketeer bar, just don't do it. Alright, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is Wednesday. You guys know the routine as of late. That means today I'm going to do my NFL Week 5 predictions. Last week I went 14-2. Like, that's ridiculous. I only got 2 wrong, making my official record on the year 53-27. Hey, there's no promises that ratio is going to stay where it is, but we're going to try our hardest. One quick thing before we hop into the video, guys. Head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Alright, so starting off with Thursday Night Football, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sure that sounded right. Either way, I have been undefeated on Thursday Night Football, and I don't plan for that to change. I got the Buccaneers beating the Eagles 31-20. Look, Tampa Bay's secondary has been absolutely fucking brutal this year. Like, they might actually have the most yards allowed in the entire league. So I'm not gonna doubt that Philadelphia can score on them, because they've been able to score on anybody. That's not the concern. The concern lies that one of these rosters is young and upcoming and rebuilding, and one of them is an active Super Bowl roster. As bad as Tampa Bay's secondary is, and as much as I think the Eagles can score, they're not going to be able to stop Tampa Bay's offense. Eagles might be defending the pass good, but defending the run, they are, I think, at the bottom. So if Tom can't find a receiver, he's just going to give it to Lenny. Either way, the Bucs are going to win the game. Alright, and moving on to our first Sunday matchup, and we got a doozy. We got the Dolphins visiting the Jaguars. Honestly, I'm not really sure who to pick here. I'm not comfortable with either decision because the Dolphins are just not good. Gaskin had a fantastic day. I was happy to see that. They're finally utilizing him. However, even with Tua being out and even with the offense looking different every single week as far as who's getting the most attention, I still think Miami's got the better team. Seems like once a week, Jacksonville at least makes an attempt to make the game interesting. I'm not sure how well they did against the Titans this week, but I'm not doubting their ability to do that against the Dolphins because, like I said, I just don't think the Dolphins are that good. But they're not going to be able to keep up the consistency, and Trevor Lawrence is bound to at least throw 1 interception. Brian Flores will outsmart Urban Meyer, and the Dolphins will narrowly win 21-17. Next game, we got the Packers at the Bears. Look, man, Chicago did a fantastic job at containing Derek Carr, just like I kind of talked about. With that being said, Aaron Rodgers is not Derek Carr, and I don't care how much pressure is thrown at Rodgers. He has the ability to make a play out of nowhere. So my concern for the Packers to be able to score on Chicago is absolutely none. And when it comes to Chicago scoring on Green Bay, I have quite a bit of concern. Got a young quarterback who they're experiencing with, and I don't see him keeping up with Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't seem likely. Rodgers is going to stay calm and collective, and Justin Fields is going to get frustrated. It'll be a close game for a half, but I got the Packers winning 24-14. Alright, up next we got the Bengals visiting the Lions. Hey, the Lions are bad. They're 0-5 for a reason, but they're not that bad. They're kind of like the Vikings. They're just hanging in there and barely losing. Unfortunately, I don't expect their luck to change this week, considering they're playing one of the most electric and explosive offenses in the NFL. But their team is getting better, and Dan Campbell I don't think is a bad coach. I actually think he's a good coach. He's got some balls on him, but he's a good coach. Lions will hang in it, but they're going to fall short. The Bengals will win 28-23. Yes, it'll be another heartbreaker. I'm sorry, Dan Campbell. Alright, up next we got Houston visiting Indy. So here's the thing about Houston, and really not even Houston, it's David Culley. He is competing, like he is fucking competing. Other than that game against Buffalo where they got blown out of the goddamn water, he's been putting up a fight every single game. He has a win. He almost just beat the Patriots. For as little talent as he has on that team, I think he's doing an exceptional job. I had to get that out of the way before I go ahead and say the outcome. Indy should be able to lock this game down and secure their second win of the season. They had an unbelievable choke job against the Ravens, but it's not entirely their fault. It looks like Rodrigo Blankenship was literally dealing with something, which withheld them from winning that game on multiple occasions. Thankfully, I think Indy's defense is going to be good enough to the point where they can hold Houston to far enough away where they don't need a leg to win the game. Wentz has been quietly playing good, and he's going to play good enough to lead the Colts to a victory over the Houston Texans 26-16. All right, moving on to the next game, we got the Rams visiting the Giants. Rams by a large margin, actually 27-13. Doesn't matter if the Giants just played the best game of their life, I'm never going to pick them to beat the Rams. Plus, I don't even know Daniel Jones' current situation. Kind of like I said yesterday, Mike Glennon might actually benefit New York. And aside from Daniel Jones, they got many other injuries to worry about. They got Sterling Shepard, they got Kenny Golladay, they got Saquon Barkley. I don't know how the fuck they're supposed to generate points against the Rams. I mean, they might find a way to make it work. They shocked me before, but I just don't see it happening. Moving on, we got Kansas City going into Washington. This will be a good game, and this is where the Chiefs are going to bounce back, but it's going to be close. Washington's offense, really underrated. Chiefs' offense, really good. Washington's defense, really bad. Chiefs' defense, fucking dog shit. Kind of like how I talked about Justin Herbert evolving into Matt Stafford, Washington evolves into Kansas City. I think they're very similar teams. Kansas City is just better. I think a lot of people expect this to be a blowout, but I got a surprising shootout. The Kansas City Chiefs will win, but narrowly 30-28. Kansas City, you should know it already. There is cause for concern there. Next game up, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. This game could realistically go anywhere. Both teams, every time they've lost, has been by a very minute amount of points. It's another one of those games where if this was in the bank, I would feel very confident picking Minnesota, but it's not. It's in Carolina. And as well as I think our line will be able to contain CMC or Chuba, whoever is playing, I think Carolina's receivers are going to end up eating us alive in the end. There'll be offense on both sides. I don't doubt that, but I got the Vikings falling short to the Panthers just barely 24-21. All right, moving on to the next game, which might be game of the year. I don't know. I say that every week, but these games just keep falling into perfect place. We got the Chargers visiting Baltimore. Okay, nothing against Seattle versus Pittsburgh, but can we flex this to Sunday night? I mean, Jesus Christ. This game will be hard-hitting from start to finish. I'm expecting explosions from both offenses, huge plays from both defenses. Lamar Jackson, no matter where the Ravens are, he will keep them in that game. Justin Herbert, no matter where the Chargers are, they are going to remain in that game. I don't consider this a ballsy pick, but I'm not exactly confident. I'm going with my gut. I genuinely think from the bottom of my heart, Brandon Staley will outsmart the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chargers will win this game 27-20. All right, up next we got the Cardinals versus the Browns. Now, I don't want any angry messages from Cleveland fans because I got like 6 last week. Guys, I'm not shitting on your team. Plus, I wasn't even wrong. They lost. Jarvis is out. Baker and Odell do not mix. They're like water and oil. Now, the run game was amazing, but you can't depend on them to do absolutely everything, especially when playing against a team like the Cardinals. Now, I'm not doubting Myles Garrett's ability to smother Kyler either, but Kyler is going to get away from him sometimes. I got Arizona remaining undefeated, 6-0, winning this game 23-17. Next up, we got the Vegas Raiders visiting the Denver Broncos. Vegas is in a rough spot right now. They're on the verge of being exposed. They're switching coaches. They're going to have a new scheme, and they're facing a division rival with the same record. I don't think it looks good for them this week, man. The reason I said they almost have been exposed is because I still think that the Raiders are above where they were last year. I think that they are a good team. But I mean, they have fallen so far off of the cliff they were on 3 weeks ago, it's harder and harder to give them that credit. Also, with everything I just mentioned in Denver's pass rush, unfortunately, I just can't find a scenario in my head to give Vegas this win. I got kind of a boring game here in a lower scoring game, but I got the Ponies winning 17-14. Also, I would just like to point out that no, I'm not going to make any skits, any comments, nothing on the John Gruden thing. I'm leaving that as it is. All right, next game, we got Dallas going into New England. Oh, this should be an ass kicking, and I hope it is. New England made a great comeback. That was awesome, but that's not going to fucking matter. Unless they're able to score on every single drive, they will not beat Dallas. Not to mention, Mac Jones, a rookie, is going to be throwing the ball into a secondary where the hottest cornerback in the NFL is sitting. The Houston Texans were able to drop 20 plus points on the Patriots. The Dallas Cowboys are on pace to drop 80. I just don't see Bill Belichick having enough tools to patch up all the holes that are going to be there when Dak Prescott's throwing downfield. It ain't going to work. It's going to be too much. Because it's New England, I'd like to say they're going to keep it somewhat interesting, but Dallas will still win by a blowout 34-20. And moving on to our Sunday night game. Oh, wow, what a doozy. Seattle at Pittsburgh. I'll put this very, very simple. No Russ, no win. I don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Geno Smith going into Pittsburgh, he's going to be under a lot of fucking pressure, dude. And Mike Tomlin, he is a great coach. I can already promise you, he has watched enough film to already have assembled a game plan to shut down Geno Smith. Going from playing against Russ to Geno, so much less you have to worry about when you're not playing against Russ. With Pittsburgh offense bouncing back and Seattle secondary not looking good at all, I think the Steelers will get another win 26-19. And no, I don't think the Steelers are back. They're just not playing good teams. But they beat Buffalo. I know. Have that. I'll shut up. And speaking of the Buffalo Bills, that brings us to our Monday night fight. Buffalo goes into Tennessee. Tennessee has one of the worst defenses against the pass in the NFL. Buffalo, one of the highest scoring passing teams in the NFL. That right there is not a good matchup. Okay, well, let's flip the roles here. Let's look at Buffalo's defense. They are top 10 in every single category in week 6. They've allowed the least amount of points. They've allowed the least amount of yards. Sean McDermott is going to have a plan for Derrick Henry. I don't think he's going to have a huge game whatsoever. Am I thinking Buffalo is going to shut out the Titans? Absolutely not. Do I think they will win in a dominating fashion? Yes. Tennessee's got a lot of talent on offense, and I'm giving them points there, but Buffalo will dominate, winning 33-24. Alright guys, and that is all for my Week 6 NFL predictions. Let me know what you guys agree with. Let me know what you guys don't agree with. Like I said, I enjoy reading your guys' feedback. Let me know your guys' record on the year too, and don't lie. Don't tell me you're 80-0 or some dumb shit like that. But I am curious to see if anybody has any insanely good or insanely bad records. For anybody who's interested in sending something to my P.O. Box or following any of my social medias, all that information will be in the description of this video. With all that stuff being said though, guys, I'm going to hop off and edit this so you can watch it on time. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their Wednesday, and as always, I will see you in the next video.